stay here and watch this all day.
Somehow it all comes back to food and drink. Well, at least this town looks pretty normal for a change. I mean, everything appears to be running smoothly.
Even as the wolf packs battle fiercely among the trees for the land they claim. From far away, the forest may appear surprisingly peaceful, depending how you see it.
If someone had exceptional hearing, couldn't they tell what was going on from afar?
Do you see that ship over there? It seems the tax they are levying on its goods is too high, and so the ship's owner doesn't want to sell. I already told you the price for these nails is set.
They call that a hostage tax. They can see from his fur that he's got money, so they try to slip in extra taxes.
The skinny man is saying something in response about the expedition to the north being cancelled and how that has thrown off the markets in the whole city. He's telling the man he should be happy to get anything at all.
That cancelled expedition is causing trouble everywhere.
He is threatening to take the man and his fur to the courts to settle it. There are 4 other groups all having a similar conversation. The tax is too high. The cancelled expedition. The status of entering the town.
Oh.
You did not really order those for my benefit, did you? My drinking serves you in some way. If I am drunk on alcohol, then you are free to get drunk on the prospect of future profits.
Thinking about business is cheaper than alcohol. And to be sure, it has less of a hangover.
When I am drunk, I am less likely to interrupt your planning with my obstinate chattering and more compliant to your whims. It is a relatively inexpensive investment.
You are a wise wolf.
Well, your face always appears so much less of a frowning mask when you are thinking about business. And that makes my drinking all the more fun. No! How could this great wolf be undone by as few as 7 drinks of such a watery stash?
You're worn out from traveling, too, remember? Try to get some rest. Huh? Don't you worry. I won't do anything too ridiculous while you're asleep.
Oh, I very much doubt that.
I think it's time for Her Highness to close her eyes. Open for business?
Yes, sir. Come in, I just finished patching my apron. Like it?
It's so nice I can hardly take my eyes off it.
That's why. I always wondered why people had so much trouble looking at me in the eyes. It's because my apron is too pretty.
Or they could just be afraid of your eyes. After all, people do tend to get a bit intimidated around beautiful things.
Too bad, because I can tell instantly if I trust someone by looking in their eyes. But if they never look, I'll never know.
And do you trust me?
Traveling merchants are much better flirts than regular townspeople. So, will you be eating or drinking?
Actually, I'd like 2 orders of roasted tail packaged to take with me. Huh?
The cook just left to purchase supplies at the port.
I don't have anywhere else to go. There's really no rush.
In that case, there's no better way to pass the time than with something to drink in your hand.
Okay, might as well.
It's unusual that a traveling merchant actually stops in for food. Normally they come by looking for information.
I usually pay for both. I was curious about one thing in particular. What's with all the merchants camped out in front of the town entrance?
Oh, those are all the merchants who are involved in trading furs this time of year.
Is that so?
Yeah, it's about the fur.
Most of them are the foreign merchants who come from all over to buy fur, and the rest of them are craftsmen who sell tools to make the fur into pretty things to wear. The reason they're all waiting so patiently is because the town council is having its big meeting right now to decide whether or not to even sell the fur.
You mean the 50-man meeting, right?
That's right. Trading fur is forbidden until it's over. The ban on fur trading means those craftsmen will sit on the money they've saved to buy processing tools until they're sure it'll be lifted.
I don't understand why people are so hesitant to sell the fur.
I've heard it has to do with the expedition to the north being canceled.
So nobody wants to be first in the market with the large amount.
That's business. Like me, my place is usually packed with people at this time of year.
I wonder if it'd be okay to sell furs to the merchants gathered outside the town.
Huh? Those merchants only buy for a good price. Unlike the knights and mercenaries going on expedition. Sometimes they even pay me with beautiful fur clothing that's really only fit for a princess to wear. I make double when they pay me like that.
But before the fur becomes clothing, it's relatively inexpensive. If it gets sold before being processed, the townspeople miss out on most of their profits.
You're a really smart guy. But I haven't told you anything you couldn't have learned from any other hostess in town. If you repeat to anyone what I'm about to tell you, I'll deny it.
Deal.
There are about 40 men in that meeting who are thinking about barring the merchants outside town from buying any fur. Even though they know it might enrage the rest of the people in the fur trade.
Who gave you this information?
Who knows? Men usually show their appreciation of a bar by leaving good and drunk. Are you sure you don't want another drink?
You're definitely putting me in the mood to lose myself.
2 roasted tails ready.
Okay! Now I have a question for you. Do you have a wife?
I'm free to do what I want when it comes to trade. However, she does keep me on a pretty short leash.
Well, whoever she is, she's the luckiest girl I know. Darn the luck!
Those are loaded with furs, and those, and those, those too. And that's good news. There's lots of money.
I will not allow it. You may never sell my tail.
You'd be too tough to skin.
But I can see in your eyes you are willing to sell anything.
Come on, that's only half the story. Think about the strawberries you see me pick from town to town while we travel. Have you ever seen me sell one of them? That's because I only ever resell what first I have purchased. It's one of the few hard and fast rules I live by.
So I trust your information expedition was fruitful as always?
Yes, it seems as if things are about to get quite interesting around here. Oh yeah, care to make a wager?
A bet?
I have some meat in this package. Tell me which animal and what part without opening it, and you can eat anything you want tonight. You saw all those traveling merchants camped out in front of town, right? There has to be something going on with it where they never waste so much time just waiting there. They must have already gotten wind about the 50-man meeting's decision not to let foreign merchants in on the fur trade this year. My ears aren't great, but I will hear if you try to open that package.
I know that.
Have you got it?
Give me time.
Well, then I'll talk this out some more. To orchestrate something on this scale would take a large and powerful group. The Western Merchants Association is known for their fur craft, or it could be some large company looking to monopolize the entire fur trade industry. Regardless of that...
You...
Have you figured it out?
I think the preconditions of this bet we made were unfairly tilted before we made it, Lawrence.
Well, it's a little bit late to be mentioning that now, don't you think?
I suppose so, but
What's your guess?
I don't know the name you have for it. But it is from those river rats with the big flat tails.
Yeah.
I told you the wager was unfair from the outset.
You already knew?
When we first came to this town, it puzzled me because I had no memory of it. But that has changed now. All of my memories came flooding back to me. When I smelled it, the memory brought back tears to my eyes, and I knew in an instant what was in your package.
You did that on purpose.
Do you think I would take advantage of your kindness with a deception?
Yes, you always manage to do this to me.
I know I will never be able to forget your scent.
Nor I yours.
You sound foolish when you are serious.
Well, excuse me for trying.
Does it truly bother you that much? You made more than enough money when we were in Kumersoon to open up a shop of your own, did you not?
Yeah, plenty, in fact.
I do not have any right to keep you from opening up your shop. You should be free from trouble so that you can settle down. That is all that I want for you.
Settle down. You've got a point there.
A road to the north?
Yes.
Well, there hasn't been all that much snow this year, so the journey shouldn't be too bad.
My plan right now is to go to Nyohila.
So, you're going into lands that are pagan? Well, I suppose that is the life of a merchant. You carry a bag of money around to wherever the profit leads.
No matter how big that bag of money gets, none of us can take it with us when we die.
Then why even bother making money at all? It's a waste of time if you ask me.
Why bother having any job at all for that matter, like running an inn, for example?
Well, that is true. Will you be leaving us soon, then?
Not yet. I want to wait until the 50-man meeting is over.
You'll only be able to make half the journey with the horse you have right now. After that, you'll have to trade it in for a longer-haired breed.
I think I saw one in the stable.
The man who owns that horse is a northerner. He probably knows more details about the road you'll be traveling to.
What's his name?
His name? The man's lived here for years, and I can't believe I've never even bothered to get his name. The only thing I really know about him is that he gets fatter with each passing